the corruption at ESPN has become fairly obvious. This starts with Kirk Herbstreit being in the booth and saying, I don't think that a conference championship game blowout should hurt you ever in the college football playoff.
Really?
But BYU, I mean, they're saying the quiet part out loud. They're being very obvious with it. And the biggest piece of this, like everybody, this is where I think BYU and the Big 12 could sue ESPN, could sue the NCAA for Sherman antitrust laws. And the reason being is because we've created a monopoly. Are those legal?
No.
A monopoly where who owns the rights to the SEC?
That would be the worldwide leader in sports.
Correct, ESPN. Who owns the rights to the college football playoff?
That's 3 letters. 4 letters. ESPN.
That's ESPN, no doubt.
Gotcha.
So if ESPN owns stock, actually owns the entirety of the college football playoff and of the SEC, they're keeping the lights on for both and broadcasting every Tuesday night. Don't you think that they want what's best for ratings? Or do you think that they actually want what's best for college football?
As someone who's a media professional, I say ratings are better.
Yeah. So when Kirk Herbstreit or Chris Fowler say, like, oh, we here at ESPN, we have no vested interest. That's like being the majority owner in Apple, in the Apple company, in Apple stock, and saying, man, I love Android. I
don't even know that I'm just a guy who's appreciating technology.
I actually use a Nokia. I don't even use Apple, because and where I want to give them a bit of reprieve and not jump down their throat entirely is because, yeah, if I own stock in Apple, I'm going to use Apple products. They own stock in the SEC. They own stock with the playoff. They want the SEC to succeed. But now that's what this is. It's just an SEC invitational. I think, Cam, I really do. I think that Utah could go toe-to-toe with the 3rd, 4th, 5th best teams in the SEC. What I just saw Alabama do, Utah at its best, I think that's a ball game. I really believe that. But even me saying that, someone's going to hear that and think, what an idiot. How stupid. Because ESPN has created in your brain a hypothetical scenario where it's impossible, where it couldn't happen. It's not a thing. And it's just not what real life is.
This is where I feel old, because when I first got into college football, the SEC was, great and had the tradition and the passion, but it was not like the last 10, 15 years since Nick Saban started winning at Alabama, we just put the SEC on an absolute different pedestal. It's a different world, and every team in the SEC could beat any team anywhere else. And it just didn't used to be that way. We used to go off these things called the rankings.
Yeah.
And we just it's amazing to me that when we move into a college football playoff era, it's like less incentive than ever to go out and win it on the field, even though that's exactly what this is supposed to be. Like exactly what it's supposed to be. Because I agree with you, man. I watched Utah a lot this year, and they pile drived a ton of teams, man. Like that's the exact argument that we gave for Alabama, right? Was they got blown out in the SEC championship game, but look at what they were doing to these other teams for so long. Or Notre Dame was another one. How do we keep Notre Dame out? They were blowing teams out. Utah was doing the same thing, man. I think Utah and Alabama could have a heck of a game. I think Utah and A&M could have a hell of a game. That doesn't matter anymore.
Logan Fano would be the best offensive lineman in the SEC.
Yes.
Plays for Utah. Yes. Noah Fafita,
best offensive lineman in the country,
would be the best quarterback in the SEC. Plays in the Big 12 for Arizona.
Yeah.
It's a bad quarterback league. It's a bad quarterback league. I just watched Ty Simpson the other day.
Yeah. It was not great. It's not great.
Jacob Rodriguez, best linebacker in the SEC.
Best quarterback in the country.
David Bailey, best defensive lineman in the SEC. These are Big 12 guys. ESPN won't give you that. And somebody out there's like, well, PFF told me. Yeah, PFF probably has the highest graded linebacker in the country at San Jose State. Please don't ever. Ever read PFF.
They treat they treat it like it's a Make-A-Wish thing. Jacob Rodriguez, what a story, man. He's doing it for Texas Tech as if they're not a top 5 team in the country. They're not freaking loaded.
They're the kid with cancer. They're the kid with cancer.
Literally, man. That's what I'm saying.
Prime Sofia Vergara. And it's just a funny visual. It's just a funny visual.
It's a friggin' it's a Tom Rinaldi piece. Like that's what it is, you know?
Yeah. What if I told you?
Doing it for Texas Tech. And of all this desolate, trophy-ridden place.
The second that narrative gets old, it's hold on. They paid for this. They bought.
Yes. Yeah, Ohio State's not. You're right.
Texas.
Georgia's not.
You turn on this propaganda machine, and Texas Tech's not even in the top 10 in spending, but they won't tell you that. They don't want you to know that, and they will continue to tell you. This is Herb Street and Fowler this week. We don't care. You know, it's not part of our job is to be biased. We're just honest, objective journalists. Good people. We're good people. And they're telling you that to hide all of the things that Cam and I have just told you in the span of 10 minutes that the average college football fan's not supposed to know. That's the secret. That's what we want to keep from them. And it sucks. It kept BYU out of the playoff. It leaves no respect for Utah. And you would have had no idea Texas Tech existed outside of Reese Davis going, number 4, Texas Tech. All right, who's number 5? You know, that's all you got. Yeah,
literally. Yeah, it's like, what a good year for them. All right.
I've said this a few times. I'll probably say it for the rest of my life. Joe Tessitore and whoever Jabron was doing the game with him on Saturday continued to say, this Texas Tech team looks pretty good. And we do a lot of SEC games. We spend most of our weekends in the SEC.
With the big boys.
And this Texas Tech defense is pretty good. And
who could have saw that coming?
I didn't go to Texas Tech. I went to a rival, actually. And I know the masked rider, not personally, but I know when the masked rider comes out on the horse, that's the masked rider. And Tessitore kept saying over and over, it's the masked raider. Here they come. He said it multiple times. Like, they just don't care enough. And they're trying to tell you, we just don't care.
Yeah.
The masked raider.
Man, it's just, you almost run out of things to say because we knew it was coming. Like, again, Alabama didn't even need to play on Saturday. And like, you want to keep them in, even though they got blown out by Georgia. Like, I'm actually okay with that. I think Alabama should be in. I get that argument.
Sure.
But again, we're talking about two teams that were just sitting on the couch and they get over another team who gets blown out in the championship game. Like, and we're like towing a line here of Tech is a really good team, right? Because they're going to buy. They're top 4. They're the conference champions. They've been in the top 10 the whole year, basically. But then what they're saying by keeping BYU out is that, well, Tech's not that good. You can't lose to them. You can't have that be the only team you lost to. Like Ole Miss played the best team in their conference and they lost. And they're in, like, no problem. They never had to beat, had to break a sweat to know that they were going to get in.
And then they don't even have a coach.
That's where you're losing.
They don't even have a coach.
Yeah, and of course,
BYU has a coach.
With A&M, who again probably should be in with the season that they had. That's as close to BYU as I think you'll get in the SEC. They didn't even play in the SEC championship game. By SEC standards, they had a pretty easy schedule. They had 4 or 5 teams that they faced that their coaches were fired mid-season, and like again, no second thought about A&M. Were they the 6th seed? Like no second thought.
BYU has maybe a better resume than A&M altogether.
Yes, I think they do. And we know that they have better ones than Notre Dame, who didn't get in, and Miami, who did. Like, we know they do.
This shouldn't help you if you're a BYU fan, but I think this would have been a good year. And ESPN disagreed. And I have said the contrary, because I do think like Vanderbilt would be competitive with A&M. If we went to 16, we could see some really competitive matchups between number 16 and number 4. This would have been a good year for a 4-team playoff. Georgia, Texas Tech, Ohio State, Indiana. Yep. That's it. I don't need. I know everything else. It's one of those 4 teams is the best team in the country.
I think we're starting to find out that 4 is fine.
4 was kind of fine.
4 was fine.
Somewhere in that 4 is the best team in the country.
Yeah.
Now I say that last year. What was Ohio State 8? So maybe some years you're going to ebb and flow.
Yeah, but I think that would have been looked. I think that
They
would
lost
have been
to
looked at
Michigan.
differently.
They
I think
lost
that
to
would have been
Michigan.
looked at differently though if there's a 14 playoff. You know what I mean?
No, they lost.
That would have been two Big Ten teams, so that's tough. I think they might have been ranked like 5th rather than 8th. I think that was 8-9, right? They hosted Tennessee.
So, yeah.
I think that would have been looked at way differently. I do if it was 14.
Possibly.
I think they're closer to getting in. That's what I'm trying to say.
Sure.
I don't think they're seated 8th.
Coming up, Baylor hired a new athletic director. There's so many stories that happened in the Big 12 in 1 week that I have this. We'll start with
America's Conference, baby. I love this conference.
Start with this one. All right, Locked On Big 12. Omaha Steaks. It's a perfect gift. It's a perfect gift. Spider 2 Live Banana. Omaha Steaks. The holidays come with 2 big goals: feeding people well and finding gifts they'll actually love. And Omaha Steaks is great. It's not just steak, too, by the way. They got even I'm a vegetarian. They got vegetarian stuff on there, dog. Locked On College listeners get an extra $35 off with code COLLEGE at checkout. College is your code. It's the best gift ever. You can pack your own. You don't have to pack it yourself, but you build these boxes of things like the potatoes in there. There's sides. There's steaks. I like the ribeyes, but personally, desserts, comfort meals. You build a box for anybody. You order it by 6 p.m. Eastern, and it ships the same day. Save big on gourmet gifts and more holiday favorites with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during the Sizzle All the Way sale. And for an extra $35 off, use promo code COLLEGE at checkout. Terms apply. See site for details. omahasteaks.com. Code COLLEGE at Omaha Steaks.